Hi everyone, hope you're well, hope you can hear me, hope you're having a fabulous day. I'm going to move this to one side because I do want to chat to you before we start. I've got some really cool crafting and don't worry, we're going to see a really easy fancy fold and I'm going to jump to it really quickly. But before we start, there's a couple of things I want to let you know. First of all, we are halfway through Celebration, so only one more month left to go. Celebration runs until the end of February. For every £45 you spend, you get to choose an exclusive freebie. And today we have launched more Celebration freebies. Now, some of these are items which have already been around, so there's certain kits, there's some embossing folders, there's some really lovely stuff. I'll be sharing it on the Facebook page. I'll send you a link once I finish this live, but there's some new projects just launched, which is really exciting. There's also a new kit that's just gone live, which is a wreath. Again, really gorgeous. So now's your chance to take advantage of that. Hey Debbie, Karen, Ali, great to see you all. Thanks for joining me. The second thing I wanted to let you know is, again, really exciting. We are now able to announce our first ever crafting retreat. So we're going to have a 2-day event. It's going to be on Saturday the 18th and Sunday the 19th of March. And we're holding it in the Glyn Hill Hotel in Renfrew. All the details I'm going to be posting on the Facebook page, but they're also on my website. We have got a special price for team members, so I know many of my lovely team watch my Facebook lives, but we are going to have we're going to have a 2-day event where you're going to get loads of goodies, loads of tuition classes. We've got some really exciting projects lined up for you. Hey Jean, hey Heather, glad you could join us. So yeah, I'll be posting on the Facebook page shortly after this, hey Julie, about the retreat. So if you are interested, there are limited spaces and some of them have already been snapped up. But if you're interested in a 2-day crafting retreat, I'll post the information after this live, and you can also find it on my own website, www.craftwithemma.co.uk. Right, enough of the waffle. I know you want to see the crafting. I'm going to jump straight to it. Let's get this back into position. Right, there we go. Is that straight? And let's put the lights on. It's still very dreary outside, isn't it? Okay, so the cardstock that I brought out to do this particular card with, the reason that I chose these colours is because these are the colours that go with the Dandy Designs 12 by 12 papers, and I am just absolutely loving these papers at the moment. So I thought I would use these papers for this fancy fold, and I'm thinking at the moment I'm going to go with the spots, although you see now, because then I was thinking, well, I love the stars, but actually the flowers is really pretty. Do you know what, we're going to do 2 versions of this card. So let's do one version with the flowers. I think that looks nice. Coastal Cabana. Not Coastal Cabana, what are you saying? Calypso Coral. Let's do one version in kind of like the peaches. And then let's do the other one. I'm trying to decide between Granny Apple Green or Coastal Cabana. It's got to be Granny Apple Green, doesn't it? Yeah, let's do Granny Apple Green. If you are feeling particularly passionate about any of the other colours, so Coastal Cabana, Fresh Freesia, Mango Melody, Petal Pink, have a think about those, because if we've got time, I can do a 3rd version of this card. I've planned to do 2, but you know what I'm like. Sometimes we squeeze an extra one in. Let's see how we get on. Let's see how we do with this. So, first things first. I've got A4 sheet of card. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that in half. So this is just putting it into my trimmer and slicing it at 14.8 centimetres. And then I'm going to score it at 10.5. And this is just to create a standard card blank. So far, so what? You all know how to create a card blank. So going to use my bone folder and get that nice and creased. So this is my standard C6 card blank. What I'm going to do next is I am remembering how I do this. I am going to get a pencil and I'm going to make a pencil mark. Basically what I want to do is I want to have pencil line halfway down either side of my card. Do you know what? I'm going to do it using my trimmer to make it easier. So if I measure this part, so between the crease and the point, that's 10.5 centimeters. So this needs to be 5.2 ish. So that's what I want to do. Propelling pencil. Let's just push that all the way up, and let's just do a very faint, you see that? Pencil line down there. And I'm going to do the same on the other side. So again, taking it into 5.2 and just do that along there. Okay, so now I have my crease in the center and I have a pencil line that goes down each side. So what I'm going to do next is I want to, so that's 5.2, so I'm going to measure 5.2 up here as well. So I'm doing it this way, 5.2. But this time, instead of drawing a line, I'm going to take my trimmer and I'm going to put my blade down where my pencil line is, and I'm going to cut from that pencil line to the other pencil line. And you're maybe thinking, Emma, that's really tricky to do. But actually, see if I show you on the side of the blades. Can you see? There's a line down the center. So if I put that in, I can see that mark down the center of my trimmer blade when it reaches my pencil in line. So you can see that that has worked. That's been fine. So now what I want to do is I'm going to do score lines along this bottom one here. So let's put that in. And again, the same with my scoring blade, has got this little mark down the side of it. So I'm going to score on that piece there. But then for the other side, I'm not scoring here, I'm scoring on the longer one. Still with me? It'll all make sense when it's finished, I promise you. So let me score along that one there. All right. What I'm going to do next is get my rubber, which is here, and I'm going to going to rub out these pencil marks that I made. There we go. And now I'm going to fold where those score lines that I just made were. And now, if I do that nice and firm, so now I've got this. And this, is that not a really easy fancy fold? Come on guys, that looks really cute. And all you had to do was one cut and a score there and a score there. And that gives you this. Here we go. Right, let's decorate this because it'll look even nicer once it's decorated. So let's, first of all, I'm going to do a panel here and a panel across here. So using my trusty ruler to tell me what my measurements should be. She says, hunting for her ruler in her pencil case. I have a really nice metal ruler, but I think it's in a different pencil case. Right, let's just have a look at this one. So I'm going to do the one along the bottom first because I know I want that to be, yeah, actually I know. So this is 10.2. So if I do that to, yeah. Let's take this down to Let's take it to 5 centimetres. And I'm going to take it to, now of course the width of my card is 10.5, so let's take it to 10 and see how that goes. See if that fits. That's it. That fits lovely. So I'm going to put that in along the bottom, and then that strip actually fits nicely on there, but I can use the other side, which I think. Now, what do you think? Both of them that side, or flowers along the bottom and stars along the top? Let's have a quick look at the other papers, see if any of them are the same colours, because I like the flowers, I really do. What other? Ooh, these stars, let's pull these out. They are gorgeous papers. This is the problem, I can't decide which sides to use because they're all gorgeous, and that's got the tartan on it as well. Let's keep this out, but for just now, I think if I do the stars here, or if I did the yellow stars there, what about the Mango Melody stars there and the Calypso Coral stars there? I think that's the way forward. Let's give that a try. And I want to do stars pacing up. Beautiful papers. Remember, these papers are celebration freebies, so not available to buy. Instead, you need to get them free with a purchase. Now then, what do I need to cut that to? About 9 centimetres. There we go. Just checking to see if there's any comments. You're happy to go with my recommendations at the moment here, by the looks of things. Let's go with that and that there for just now. And then we're going to open it up. We're going to have the panel that people can write in, which is either going to be at that side or that side. Haven't decided yet. Actually, those yellow stars could go all the way down, couldn't they? Let's do that. I think that's the way forward. Let's trim that. So these can go on here like that. Oh yeah, loving this. Right, let's start sticking some of these down. What do you think of the fold so far? I know the papers are lovely, but do you like the fold? It's an easy one to do, and I think it's really effective. I saw variations of it because you can get lots of different variations, and this one is the portrait style variation. I'm going to show you a couple of different variations tonight. And of course you can just get more and more complicated, but I wanted something that was easy. Sometimes we want something that is just easy to do, don't we? A lot of my stuff might come across as quite easy. But you know what? I see that as a win, because card making is meant to be fun, and some of the more complicated fancy fold cards do give me a bit of stress, and I do not have time to be stressed. I'm all about having fun with this. At the end of the day, it's a hobby and it's meant to be fun. Yeah, look at that. Doesn't that look nice? I think I need to decorate this bit as well. Let's see, what's the other side of that? A little tartan there? I think that would be really cute to put that in there. Let's trim this and stick that in. Again, one of the really useful things with the Stampin' Up! Products is that they all coordinate. So you know, if you're lifting up the papers, all you have to do is check the back. And just in case nobody's seen this before, see when you've got a pack of the paper, have a look at the back and it tells you those are the colours used in this pack of DSP, Designer Series paper, which means if you want the papers to match and to coordinate, all you need to do is pick the same colours that are in the paper. So I know that this kind of ready peachy colour is Calypso Coral, which is the same colour of cardstock that I've used, and I can use the same ink and the pens and the ribbons and all the rest of it. Right, there we go. Let's cut a basic white panel to go in that part there. Oh, that's thick basic white, don't want to use that. Thick basic white is better for your card blanks than for your layers. Not that you couldn't, I mean you could use it for your layers if you wanted to, but, oops. Ooh, you see that? I was going to say, that's shimmery, I didn't want shimmery. Do you know what? Let's use shimmery. The shimmery white cardstock. Let me see if I can hold it up to the light. Can you see the shimmer in that? It's just, I'm trying to catch the light on it and get it on the camera. It's not in your face blingy, but it's just got that little bit of shimmer, which is really sweet. So let's just use a piece of this. Let's cut this to size. I've got an avalanche going on behind me. I really do need to tidy up my craft room. But actually, Jean, you have sent me an email which I have got a draft in reply to you. My classes are starting back again. I'm really excited about that. I've got schedules of classes that I'm going to be running in my home again, which I'm really looking forward to crafting with everyone. Do you know what? I think it's best going to be on this side, and let me show you why. I've just had an idea for something. But yeah, class schedule will be coming out. I'm going to be running 2 classes a month. They'll both be on a Saturday. One will be in the morning and one will be in the afternoon. And if you choose, you can attend both classes. One will be Card Club, where it's a variety of different cards that we'll be making. And the other one will be the Technique class, where I'll be showing different techniques every month. And you can build up a portfolio of all the different cards. Can you write on the shimmery card? You can. That's a really good question. You can write on it. It's not glossy that you can't write on it. In fact, you can stamp on it. Let's do that. Let's get a stamp and let's stamp on this card. Just one moment. Right. Should have been more organised, but let's do this. This is the framed florets stamp set, which is a really beautiful one. Just thinking, will that fit in? Yes. Wishes for a beautiful birthday. I do need to do some more birthday cards. There's been some recent birthdays which I have yet to celebrate properly, so these can be some birthday cards. But yeah, you can write on the shimmery card. You can also stamp on it, and let me just show you that now. So there we go. Wishes for a beautiful birthday. I really like that. Yeah, stamps beautifully. So what I wanted to do next, just to finish off this card, is I wanted to use my floral punch. One moment. And let's see, I just thought it would be really nice to do some flowers. Sunflowers? Let's do some Mango Melody flowers. Oh, there they are. Part of my goal to use up scraps rather than whole sheets. These bits were offcuts from, actually, if you check out my blog, so craftwithemma.co.uk, we've just done the global blog hop for the Ideas group, which is an international demo group. And so those Mango Melody offcuts were bits that I had used for the project I'd done for them, which was quite a fun project to do. So if you're into viewing blogs and reading blogs, I'd encourage you to go have a look at craftwithemma.co.uk. I'm the first to admit that I'm not always very organised with my blog. Most of my posts are, well, it's been a while since I've blogged, but I do try. And on my blog or on my website, that's where you'll find a lot of the information about the retreat and my classes and various things like that as well. Although I do try and share stuff with you here on Facebook too, because I know not everybody looks at blogs. So let's see about layering these. And let's just layer that one as well. The thing when using these sort of builder punches is, rather than putting a whole piece of card in and punching out all the bits, if you just have strips, then you can just punch out the bit you want. So I just want a couple of leaves. And let's do, there's my shimmer dots. You know what, let's leave it at that. This Calypso coral I had actually used with adhesive sheets on the back. I must have done some die cuts with it at some stage, but that does mean it's easier for me just to stick these together. Apart from that one, because I didn't have it on there. Yeah, less is more when it comes to Tombow. You don't want to get too much on top of them. No, this is a new punch, Jean. This is the punch from Regency Park. It's a gorgeous stamp set. It's a gorgeous bundle and everything that goes with it. And this is the bundle that we're going to be using at the retreat. So if you're coming along to the retreat, you'll get the Regency Park stamp set and the punch and a whole load of coordinating products that we're going to be making a whole load of fabulous projects with. So if you have it already, don't worry, you can swap it out for something else and bring along your own one, but you will need to have that this stamp set and punch for the retreat, because that's what we're going to be having fun with. But it's just really lovely being able to layer up. I'm just layering up a couple of leaves on the bottom of that one. And then I'm going to put one leaf on the other side. On this one. Alright, there we go. Okay, then what I want to do is I'm going to take some of my Granny Apple Green and I'm just going to slicing it at just ½ centimetre. And then I'm going to stick that on the end. This bottle of Tombow is probably nearly finished. I am so reluctant to throw anything out unless I've got every last drop out of it. Waste not, want not. That's what they say, right? Pretty much every crafter I know is very frugal. That's why we keep our scraps. It's why we keep things that might come in useful at some stage. There we go. Right. And now what I'm going to do is that's going to stick there and that slightly higher up. Okay, so what I want to do is first of all position them so I know where they're gonna go, to make sure that that's tucked under. Let's do it slightly more over like that. I want to make sure I keep it in the line there because I want it to still fit in the envelope. Right. So let's now take them there. I'm going to cut off the excess at the bottom. Like that. And then let's use some glue on these. See, that one was nowhere near finished. It's now fallen absolutely everywhere. It ended up covered in glue. But that's okay, because this is now going to pop inside like that. There we go. Yeah, you want to be careful that it doesn't end up too glued on the inside. Let me just wipe off any excess glue. You still want the card to be able to open at the end of the day. If you wanted to, you could put a piece of designer series paper on the back to cover up your stems, but I don't think I'm going to do that on this occasion. There we go. So let's see. So now we've got our card and our wonderful wishes for a happy birthday, which I am now wishing that I'd stuck on this side. I wonder if I can peel that off. Yeah, oh well, there we go. It still looks pretty like this, doesn't it? And then when we open it up, you can see, you know, your wishes for a beautiful birthday on that side. So that is the first version of this card that I wanted to show you today. Actually, we could stick them on there. Let's do that for the second one. But yeah, so this is the first version of the card. What do you think? Let me know in the comments if you like it. And I'm just going to move away some of this stuff and start on the second version. I think I'm going to use a different bit of grid paper because that's getting quite sticky. There we go. you can see on my grid paper. This is where I scribble down my measurements when I'm trying to get stuff right. Let's use a fresh piece of grid paper. Okay, so the other one that I said I was going to use was my Granny Apple Green and this spotty version, and actually I might use some of the stripes there as well. So let's, thank you Debbie, I'm glad you like it. What we're going to do for this one is starting off with half of A4, but this time we're doing it lengthways. So just cut that at 10.5 centimetres. Thank you Heather, glad you like it. And then I'm going to score this at 18. To create my card blank. There we go. So very similar to the last time, only instead of having a card blank this way, we've now got a card blank this way. And it's very easy to do the same style of card, but in a different orientation. So what we need to do to begin with is first of all, do our pencil lines down each side of the card. So this time it's 14.8. So I need to be measuring at, or doing my pencil line at 7.4. So I'm just going to put that in my trimmer. And with my pencil, just do a fine pencil line to split that in half. Then I'm going to do the same here. So again, 7.4. Thin pencil line. So now I've got my half and half. Now, before, so for this one, I did it 5.2 and then I did the same up there. So that basically that was a little square. And that's what I did with the portrait version. For this, if I do it 7, because this is 7.4, if I do it 7.4, it's going to be really quite big. So I don't want to do it that much. I could do it half, which again would look nice enough, but I probably want to do it slightly less than that. So almost have it at 2/3. So I'm going to do it at, what am I going to do it at, Emma? I'm going to do it at 4 centimetres. So going to put in, let's see, yeah, so I'm going to measure this bottom part here down to 4 centimetres. And I'm going to use my cutting blade and I'm going to line up that mark on my cutting blade with the pencil mark that I've done. And I'm going to take it all the way along to the other pencil mark over here. And then I'm going to, as I did before, I'm going to do a score line here. So let's line that up and do my score line along here. And then the same with that top bit here. Let's line it up and do my score line. Okay, so that's the thing to remember when you're doing your score lines. You do the bottom and the top. Going to rub out my pencil marks. And I'm going to just crease where my score line is here and where my score line is here. Fold it all the way over. And there you have it. So this is now the landscape version of the card that we've just done. All right. So that was portrait. We all agreed that that was easy, right? I just probably should have stuck them in a different place. Let's now do the landscape version. So for this one, see, I think again, I like how I've got the strip along the bottom and then the panel along the top here, because you could do a strip along and a panel, or you could do a strip down the way and a panel. Shall we do it different? Let's do it different. Do you know what? Let's mix it up a bit. Let's do this panel here. So what's that going to be? That's going to be 7 centimeters by 10. So let's have a look at this. There we go. So let's put some spots on there, and then let's have now you see I like the stripes, but I would have preferred to have them that way, so let's cut them that way. Let's do that again. So what's this measurement here going to be? So that's again 7 centimeters by probably 3.5. So let's just trim this out. There we go. See, I think that's quite cute, isn't it? See, I'm very tempted to have these stripes along here as well. Will that piece fit? You see, I should just have done it in half and then it would have fitted, but it doesn't quite. That's all right. I can do another one. Or shall I have a quick look and see what other granny apple green we've got in here? So, see, that's quite pretty. But I think we've got, do we have stars in the granny apple green? Because that would have looked nice. More flowers, actually. I could have added that into the Calypso. These ones, they're more of the blue than the green. Although there's the tartany bit. Let's go with this for just now. Let's go with this, because it's more in keeping with the green, I think. So I have that there, that there. That filling that space there. Although actually, now that I think about it, let's do the stripes there again. Trust me, trust the process, she says confidently with an air of knowing what she's talking about. You see this on TikTok all at the moment, you know, trust the process. And sometimes I'm looking at it going, I don't understand this process, but it all seems to look pretty by the time you get to the end. What I'm going to do is I'm not going to stick cardstock on, I'm not going to stick designer series paper on there. Instead, I'm going to get that other piece of shimmer, and let's put our shimmer down that panel. So let's have a look. What size do we want this to be? That's 7 centimeters by 10. Pop that panel on there like that. Do you know what? It just needs a smidge taken off the edge there. Just give a little bit of a green frame around it. Yeah, that's what I want. Okay, let's start sticking this together and seeing if it's all coming together. Pure dead brilliant when a plan comes together, as the immortal A-Team would say. Anybody else got hold of this paper yet from the celebration offering? Have you been having fun with it? I think there's so many opportunities and options. You remember the one we did last week, which was with the tartan stuff. We did it for Burns Night with the thistles. And I've used some of this paper with the country floral suite as well, because it looks really beautiful and it coordinates so well with that suite. It's just a really, really fun set of colours. Fun for lots of different designs. I think these are the sort of cards, this card especially, I mean, you could give this card to a girl, you could give this card to a guy. I don't think these papers are I think these papers are particularly flexible in that you can use them for lots and lots of different events. You could use this for birthday, you could use it for get well, you could use it for thank you. There we go. Let's now get a sentiment on there. So, this one, for a special person on a special day. And let's use, you've got to use the same green, haven't you? Let's use the Granny Apple green to stamp this. There we go. For a special person on a special day. And you've got this fancy fold. Should I decorate these as well? Do you know what? You can, obviously, you can put more panels to stamp on. You can put more designer series paper panels to cut out. You could, again, if you wanted, stick things on the inside on either that side or the other side. I wouldn't put it on both at the same time because then that's not going to fit. But you've got these two variations. Do you want me to do the third one while we've still got time? I think we've still got time if I show you the third. Is that all right? Let's do the third one quickly. I think you've got the idea of how these folds work, certainly. They are very pretty. Actually, no, let's not do Coastal Cabana. Let's use the Fresh Freesia. Because it's a lovely shade. Yes, you'd like to see it. All right, Karen, just for you, because you asked so nicely. Let's do the last one. So, cutting again in half lengthways. So this is cut at 10.5 centimetres. And again, going to do the score at 14.8. Just going to fold that over with the bone folder, get a nice crease on my card. Okay, so this one, we're going to start off very similar to the one that we've just done. We're going to draw our halfway lines here. So, as we know, 14.8, which means, again, we want 7.4. Let's do that one there, and then round the other side. There we go. So we've got half and half. Now, for this one, we measured up, what did we say it was? 3.5, 4 centimetres. We did that at 4 centimetres, and that looked quite pretty. What we're going to do this time is we're going to do 2.5 centimetres from the bottom and 2.5 centimetres from the top. Actually, am I going to do 2.5 or am I going to do 3? Let me just have a quick look. Yeah, 2.5. Okay, so easiest way to do this is to take the top of your card and take it to the 2.5 mark up here. And then again with your trimmer blade, using that mark to find your pencil line and do it across to the second pencil line. Take that up, flip it around, same again. So do it to 2.5. Take it to the pencil line. It doesn't matter if you start with the right and move to the left, or if you start with the left and move to the right, whichever is going to be easiest for you. There we go. Right, so now we've got this panel in the middle. So what do we do at this stage? What we do at this point is we are going to do a score line in the middle here and in the middle here. So pop your card back into the trimmer, use your scoring blade and just score between those 2 points there, and then do the same at the other side. And now when we pull this out, this one we need to score all the way down. My bad. So pop it back in there and score all the way down. There we go. And then we fold this over like that. So you can have a card that opens up like that, or do it the other way around. You have a card that opens up like that. Okay, both of these look quite pretty. They both stand up quite nicely, so you don't need to worry too much about that. This is the way that I want to do it on this side. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a whisper white, no, DSP. Use the pretty paper, Emma. We've got the pretty paper. I'm going to use it. Do you know, I have so many packs of designer series paper from old catalogues and from other stuff that I bought, but it was too pretty to use, so I didn't use it. I saved it for good. And that is a silly thing to do. If you love it, use it. There's a fabulous Facebook group by an Australian demonstrator called Kylie Bertucci. She's really clever. She's really talented, and her group is called Love It, Chop It. So if you love it, chop it up. And I fully subscribe to that. So if you bought the paper because you loved it, you should use it. Don't hold back. Don't let it sit in a craft room getting dusty and faded and unloved. Use the pretty paper. Right, I'm going to stick that all the way down the centre. Yes, I am. I think this Tombow is... You see, every time I think it's finished, I get more and more out of it. So, this is why. This is why I don't throw them out easily. Because there's always more... It seems like there's always more to be had inside. There we go. Okay, so we've got that. And then let's do the florals. The florals are just gorgeous. So that's 2.5 centimetres. So let's just take this down a notch and do it just under 2, just at 2. So put along the top. What did we say that was? 7.4. So let's cut these to 7. What do you think of this fancy fold, ladies? Do you like it? Do you think it looks pretty? Do you think it's too complicated for you to try, or are you brave enough to give it a go and try it yourself? Let me know what you think, because your opinion really, really matters to me. And if I'm doing stuff that you think, oh, well, I mean, that's pretty, but I could never do that, then do I need to do different instructions? Do I need to go slower? Do I need to explain? You tell me what you need and I will do my best, because at the end of the day, as much as I love crafting with you, the goal is to help you develop your crafts and to be able to do new things. So what do you think of this fold? Do you think it's something that you like and that you're going to give a try? Maybe you're looking at it going, yeah, no, I'm not that keen on it. You do like it, Debbie. Glad to hear that. You're going to give it a go, Jean. Really glad. See if you do make anything using this fold. Please share the photos. You can add to this post or on the Craft with Emma Facebook page. I love seeing the cards that other people have made. I really do. Not just saying that. Because it reminds me that this is why I do it. This is why we keep going like this, just so that we can have fun, socialise with each other, share ideas, inspire, create and share. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. Let's put this shimmer panel on the end here. I can see this one being another birthday card. What do we think? Is this Tombow just about done? Just about. Oh no! Do you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to rub out my pencil lines. I've just noticed them there. But there you go. Now that I forgot to do it, you'll remember, because you'll go, oh, Emma said to always remember to do the pencil lines. If you forget, it's not the end of the world. Look, there you go. I've done them with no ill effects or ill harms to that. It's to want all the gorgeous paper, Jean. That is very true. We do want it all. You're going to give it a go as well, Heather? Glad to hear it. Right. I could do some more decorating in here, couldn't I? What's the other side of that? These ones in here? I need something in here. Well, this is I think certainly a starting point on this, and I can try and finish some of that off later once I figured out what I'm going to do with it. But I know I've taken up nearly an hour of your time now, so let's call it a night with that. But these are the cards then that we've done this evening. So the first one where we did it portrait style and had our little flowers sticking up from in between using the Regency Park punch. Then we moved over to our first of our landscape versions with the Granny Apple Green. And then finally the fresh freesia version with the cut at both the bottom and the top. And this one just flipping it around so that the panel comes out at the middle rather than comes out at the bottom. But remember, if you wanted to have it at the bottom, you could do it that way as well. Okay, right, there we go. Those have been our cards for this evening. Let me flip this background and chat to you again. Here we go, folks. I hope you've enjoyed that this evening. I've certainly had a lot of fun crafting with you. Things to remember that I mentioned at the start. We're in the last month of celebration. There are new celebration items just been released today, and I'm going to post them on the Facebook page. And don't forget the crafting retreat, 18th and 19th of March. Sign up quickly to reserve your place. You can pay a deposit up front and then pay the rest later, or you can pay the whole amount in one go. But yeah, it would be absolutely fabulous to craft with you in person. Thank you so much, as always, and I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye.